in the Age of AI, the show for leaders who want real results, not more noise. Join Emanuel Rose as he helps business builders turn AI from a confusing add-on into a practical advantage with clearer messaging, stronger trust, and smarter systems. If you felt a shift happening in real time, you're not imagining it. In the agentic pivot, Emanuel calls it the move from experimenting with AI to building with it, so it supports your team, your brand, and your growth. Let's get into it.
This last week, one company raised $65 billion in a single funding round. Not its valuation, it's just one round. Anthropic, the maker of Claude, pulled in $65 billion and crossed a $965 billion valuation. Here's the question that should stop you cold. If the smartest money on earth is betting almost $1 trillion on this, what is your marketing team actually doing with it? Because the gap this week is not between the companies that have AI and the ones that do not. That gap is closed. Everyone has the tools now. Your competitor has the same Claude, the same Gemini, the same agents sitting on the same desk as you and your team. The real gap is between the marketers who use it where it counts and the one who only talk about it. That is the line this week. And by the end of these 20 minutes, I want you to be on the right side of it. Well, I tell you, things happen quickly, and AI in the last 5 years has moved at lightning speed. Every time I personally open my X account, I see all the code bros who are talking about making hundreds of thousands of dollars every day with agents while they're sitting on the beach in Tahiti. And I feel like I'm way behind, and I'm not quite using the tools right. But then I go back to reality, and I get back to work, getting my agents in line and building more custom projects and building more software. So I hope you can take that as some inspiration too. Welcome back to Marketing in the Age of AI. I'm Emanuel Rose. Here's the one line I want you to keep from today. The brands winning in 2026 are not the ones using the most AI. They're the ones using it where nobody can see it. And I know how this week feels from where you sit. You open your phone, you see another company raise more money than your whole city will make. It's easy to feel a step behind, like the real game is happening somewhere else in a room you're not in. I want to flip that today. The headlines are not the game. What you do on Monday morning is the game. You are not a spectator to this. You are the one who decides whether any of it actually changes your business. So let's make it useful. Let's get into it. Here's what we covered. 1, the week in AI news, where the money went and why it matters to you. 2, my hot take on the anti-AI backlash and why 100% human is a trap. 3, the new companies and tools worth your attention. And 4, a playbook to win back 6 hours this week and next week. Let's get into it. Week in AI news. Let's start with the number that ran the week. $65 billion. Anthropic, the company behind Claude, closed a $65 billion round and pushed its valuation to close to 965 B. The round was led by Altimeter, Dragoneer, Green Oaks, and Sequoia. Stop and feel the size of that for a second. 65B is not the valuation. It is the cash they raised in one round. The valuation sits near $1 trillion. Here is what that means for you in plain terms. The model sitting underneath half the tools your team touches just raised a near $1 trillion war chest. So expect three things. Expect faster releases because that money buys compute and talent. Expect more pricing pressure up and down as the big labs fight for your seat. And expect the goalposts to keep moving on what these tools can do. The marketer move here is not to chase every release. It is to build your own operation so the ground can shift underneath you and you still stand. Pick workflows, not features. And we'll get back to that later. Second story, Cognition, the company behind the AI software engineer Devon, raised over a billion at a 26B valuation. The round was led by Lux Capital, General Catalyst, and 8VC. So let's sit with that. An autonomous AI worker is now a $26 billion company. Devon is not a chat window. It is an agent that takes a task, writes the code, tests it, fixes it, its own mistakes, and ships. A machine that does the work, not just the talking. And here is why it matters to a marketer who has never written a line of code. The exact same agentic shift that hit software engineering is coming straight from marketing production. The campaign builds, the variant tests, the reporting, the first draft. The teams who plan for that will write it. The teams who pretend it is an engineering story will get run over by it. Third story, OpenRouter, which raised 113 million in a Series B. OpenRouter is a marketplace that lets you route your work across many AI models instead of marrying just one. The takeaway is simple. It will save you money. Do not pledge loyalty to a single vendor. Stay model agnostic. Route your cheap, high volume tasks to a cheap model. Route your hard, high stakes work to the best model you can afford. The smart shops already treat models like contractors, not spouses. You hire the right one for the right job, and you are free to switch. Here is the hot take of the week. Here's what most people will not say out loud. The race to label everything 100% human is likely a mistake. Look at the mood out there. In 2026, 54% of Americans reported AI fatigue. Only 19% say they feel excited about AI, down from just 50% 2 years ago. And 52% of consumers pull back the moment they suspect content is AI generated. McDonald's and Coca-Cola both shipped AI holiday ads and both got torched for it. So the easy reaction is to slap a made by humans badge on everything and run the other way. That is the trap. Think about what the badge actually says. It says the AI was the problem. It was not. Your customer does not care whether a machine helped you. They care whether the work is true, useful, and human in the one place they can feel it. Walk through those failed ads in your head. The backlash was never really about the tool. It was about work that felt hollow, generic, cheap, the kind of thing that makes a person feel like a target instead of a customer. That is a quality problem wearing an AI costume. Lazy, generic output has always been punished. AI just makes generic faster and cheaper to produce. So now there is a flood of it. People are sick of the flood. I'm sick of the flood. You're sick of the flood. So here's the move. Do not ban AI. Do not brag about it either. Make it invisible. Use AI in your decisions, use it in your research, your speed, your testing, your grunt work. Then put the human back in the part where the audit that actually touches the audience. The story, the point of view, the line nobody else would have written, where you can be creative. The winners in 2026 are not hiding from AI. They are hiding the AI. There is the difference, and it's worth real money. Say that to your team this week and watch it land. New AI companies. 3 companies came out of stealth this week. Watch the pattern, not just the names. First, Perceptic, 12 million in seed funding led by Excel, was founded by former Palantir executives from that company's life sciences group. They build an end-to-end AI platform for drug development, from discovery all the way to clinical trial design. Now, you're probably not in pharma. The lesson in pharma is not about drugs. It is about shape. Perceptic does not sell a feature, it owns a whole workflow, start to finish. That is the model that investors are paying for right now. And that same shape coming for marketing operations. The winning tools will not be a better headline generator, they will run the campaign from brief to live. Second, Inherent, a London lab that raised a $50 million seed round, co led by Index Ventures and Radical Ventures. The founders came out of DeepMind, Microsoft, and the White House, and their pitch is to write the playbook for AI native science. Notice what raised the money, not a finished product, pedigree, and a clear mission, a story people wanted to believe. That should land for you because it is the same thing your buyers respond to. Story still moves the money. It moves it for a lab and it moves it for your brand. If your positioning is a feature list, you are leaving the most powerful tool you own sitting on the table. Third, Reactor, 59 million out of stealth, led by Lightspeed to build a platform for real-time generative video. Keep your eye on this one. Real-time video generation is going to reach ad creative. When it does, the cost of testing a video concept drops towards zero. Picture what changes. Today, you test 2 or 3 video ideas because each one costs real time and money. Tomorrow, you'll be able to test 30. The teams ready for that will learn faster than everyone around them. And in marketing, the team that learns the fastest wins. Follow the money. Quick hits. Here is where the money went this week. Anthropic, 65 billion. Valuation near 965 billion. Cognition, the maker of Devon, over $1 billion at a $26 billion valuation. Open Router, $113 million Series B. Reactor, 59 million out of stealth. Inherent, 50 million seed. Perceptic, $12 million seed. Now step back and read the pattern. The money is going to 2 places: infrastructure and companies that own a whole workflow. Almost nothing went to thin wrappers that just sit on top of a model and add a logo. That is your signal too. The thin wrappers are getting squeezed out. The workflow owners are getting funded. So don't build your marketing operation on a single feature or a single clever prompt. Build it on a workflow you own end to end, one that survives no matter which model is on top this month. That is how you stay valuable while everything underneath keeps changing. New AI tools worth knowing. 2 tools landed this week that are worth a look. First, TRApilot.ai launched on May 24 and called itself the first AI native SEO services platform. It runs the full workflow end to end: keyword clustering, technical audits, brief generation, schema, internal linking, SERP monitoring, content QA. But here is what I think is interesting. The humans stay in charge of the strategy, risk, and quality at the decision points that matter. That is not a limitation. That is the whole design. It is the agentic agency model in a box. The machine does the volume. The humans own the judgment. If you run SEO for clients, that shape is your future. Whether you build it or buy it, the agencies that win will not be the ones doing the most by hand. They will be the ones who put a human on the decisions and an agent on everything else. Second, Protege Maya. It is built as an AI account director that works inside the channels you already use: WhatsApp, Slack, email, Zoom, even your phone. It builds campaigns and joins calls. Pay attention to that design choice because it solves the real problem with most AI tools. The problem is rarely the model, it is adoption. Your team will not log into one more dashboard. A tool that meets people where they already work gets used. A tool that asks them to change their whole day gets abandoned. Remember that the next time you buy software for your team, keep it easy to use. This week, I did take a look at TRApilot.ai. I found that the Mandarin writing on the login was a little off-putting for me. And so I got to do a little more research on that before I dig into it to make sure I can trust it. So let's look at the save time playbook. If we make this practical, here is how you win back 6 hours next week. The numbers are real. HubSpot's data shows marketers recover an average of 6 hours a week with AI. Senior people can save 8 to 10 hours. Gen AI saves about 3 hours per content piece. And with AI orchestration, some teams have cut email production from 2 weeks down to under 24 hours. But here's the part that nobody tells you. Those hours do not show up by accident. Most people open a chat window, type something, get a mediocre answer, and decide AI is overrated. The hours show up when you run a system. And here is a system that you may implement. Number 1, pick your 3 most repeated tasks. The ones you do every week without thinking. Maybe it's your weekly email, maybe it's social captions, maybe it's the first draft of every proposal. Do not pick the hardware task, pick the boring, frequent one. That is where the hour consumptions hide. Templatize the input once. Your brand guide, your ICP profile, your 3 best examples of things done right. Write them down in one place. Most people waste their AI time and tokens re-explaining who they are on every single prompt. Do it once and reuse it forever. Put it into a Google Gem, a Claude project, or a custom GPT. Build one prompt or one workflow per task, not a clever trick you sell online. A repeatable recipe your whole team can run and get the same quality. If you only can make it work, you build a toy. If your newest hire can run it, you have built an asset. Set a time budget per task. Decide what it should cost in minutes. If your weekly email used to take 2 hours, the target is 20 minutes. Measure before and after. What gets measured is actually what changes. Step 5, bank the hours into strategy, not more output. This is the part most people miss, so hear me out. The point is not to make more stuff. The world does not need more stuff, more content, more video, more emails. The point is to buy back time and spend it on the thinking only you can do, the creative human brain at work, being strategic, looking at your ICPs, thinking about the positioning, the offer, the relationship with the client that no agent will ever have. Do this and you get the same result the case studies show. More delivered faster and your margin holds. Skip it and you stay busy, stay tired, and watch the team next door quietly pull ahead. The hours are sitting right there in your week. Go and take them. If this week proved one thing, it is that agents are eating production. Devon is a $26 billion company. The shift is not coming, it is here. So picture the 2 roads in front of you. On one road, you keep treating this as someone else's story. You stay buried in production. And a year from now, you're doing the same work for thinner margins while a leaner team wins your accounts. On the other road, you put agents on the volume. You put your judgment on the decisions, and you spend your reclaimed hours on the strategy and the relationships that no machine will ever own. Same week, same tools, 2 very different years. The second road is a choice you make on purpose, and it starts with one task this week. My book, The Agentic Pivot, is the playbook for walking that road. It is how you adapt your business to agentic AI workflows without losing what makes it yours. It is written for owners and operators and managers who want a real plan instead of hype. You can find it at agenticpivot.com, aiagenticpivot.com. And if you have questions you want me to answer on the show or privately, send it to me on LinkedIn. I read every message. I pick the best ones for the show here. I'm Emanuel Rose. This has been Marketing in the Age of AI. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.